Everyone wants to say, I want to be the boss until they actually become the boss. And then suddenly it's less about doing the work and more about managing people doing the work. And honestly, that's just not for everyone. So today, let's talk about what really happens when you move into management, the good, the bad, and the burnout. My name's Irina. I've been in various leadership roles for about 20 years or so. And I kind of came across this question on a social media site that asked people to share, what are the pros and cons of switching to management. And that got me thinking because when I was younger, I sort of fell into leadership. It was just something that I was good at. I was good at being a natural leader, taking action, doing the job, just go do the thing. I was the person to go to. And so I kind of got tapped on the shoulder to move into leadership roles, but I never stopped to think, hey, is this really for me? So I think this is a really good question. And the question this person posed was, what are the pros and cons of switching to management? And they basically described that they're an individual contributor at a technical company. They enjoy their job. They like mentoring other people on the team, but they've always shied away from actually managing people because they have tried it in the past and did not find it enjoyable. Um, and this person goes on to say, like, they're looking at other managers and they have large teams, and their manager or their director really wants them to try managing a small team and then just gradually expand their scope. So it seems like this person has a little bit of pressure from above of like, hey, move into leadership. And they say, hey, I shared with her, that's not really my cup of tea. This person is insisting, though, their director, that hey, maybe try it out again. It's a different environment, it's a different company, it's a different culture. Maybe you'll find different results, you'll feel differently. So the person's basically point blank question is, for those of you who have gone through the transition from individual contributor to leadership slash management, do you regret it, and what should they focus on the first year? So let's break this down, because this is a very important question. And I'm not sure that I would have gone into leadership had I not had the opportunity and just sort of fell into it when I was young. And that's literally what I ended up doing for my entire career, is leading different teams in different environments, different size teams, onshore, offshore, new, vetted, like you name it, I have managed it, right? What it comes down to ultimately, if you're looking to move from individual contributor into a leadership role, is you have to realize, the first thing you have to realize is that you will be managing human beings. And by managing, it doesn't mean controlling. There is no way to control other human beings, and you shouldn't want to just because you get a leadership role. So let's first find out why people go into leadership roles. I know that I went into it because of money. I mean, honestly, you get that promotion, you're gonna have more money in your pocket, you're gonna have a better way to pay your bills and do fun things, and be able to live your life and invest and whatever. Money is a tool, it gives you a lot of power. I totally get that. We all do. And so that was my number one motivator, was money. So I went into it for the salary bumps, and then I realized that I actually had a passion for helping people. So for me, it was a good fit to move into leadership because I genuinely enjoy seeing people grow and progress in their careers, and especially when I see people getting promoted and we've worked on it together over a period of time, that gives me a lot of satisfaction to see other people succeed. So for me, it was good because I'm a people person. I enjoy it. I enjoy helping others. However, if you are the type of individual that would rather work on their own tasks and their own projects and their own deliverables and not have to be responsible for other people's performance, then management is probably not for you, because your success will depend on your team's success, and their success depends on you supporting them towards that success, right? So it's a closed loop, and you have to be fully cognizant of that before you step into a leadership role. I have seen green managers where they move into their first leadership role, and they of course they love the pay bump, and of course they love the fact that they now have a title that gives them a little bit different leverage in the organization. But what really threw me off was the power trip these individuals, the second they got a supervisor or manager role, just flipped. I mean, these were people I had worked with in their individual contributor roles. And then I saw them get promoted, and all of a sudden they're walking around, just peacocking. And I thought it was completely inappropriate. And now, they're acting in a way of like, I have power over you. So if they had like 10 people reporting to them, those people felt it, and that's not right. So if you're looking to go into management for control and authority reasons, you will immediately break trust with your team. You will immediately have a mutiny on your hands because people will sense that you're not there to actually help them. You're there to control them, and no one wants that. So you have to be a people person, and you have to genuinely want to help others, and this is important, without expecting anything in return, especially a thanks. Leadership is ultimately a thankless job. I think that in my 22 years of leadership, I've received maybe three thank yous, like genuine thank yous, and I've supported people towards their own promotions and their own careers taking off. But I didn't expect anything back because I kind of knew, like, hey, I'm doing this because of my own intrinsic satisfaction from seeing other people succeed. So I don't expect them to say thank you. But if you do, good luck. And the higher you go as a leader, the higher you climb, the lonelier it gets, and you'll get even fewer thank yous. So, if you're not a people person, don't go for it. You're there for power and control. You will fail eventually, and expect that no one's going to clap for you, and you're going to get very, very few thank yous. And so if you're okay with that reality, then by all means go into it. So I'm not trying to be all doom and gloom, but I want to be very transparent, just because a lot of people go for these roles for the wrong reasons, and then 4 or 5 months down the road, they're absolutely miserable. Their team is not performing, their team is sabotaging them, they're not getting the results they're looking for. Now their own job is in jeopardy because they're not delivering, and they're put in a bad light. So make sure you make a cognitive decision when it comes to moving into leadership. So let's talk about the pros. Again, it's not all doom and gloom, right? I have found leadership to be very satisfactory, at times very frustrating, but I knew that was kind of part of the deal. It comes with the territory, and sometimes, you can invest everything you have, emotions and time and energy and tools, and you go do research to help your people out, and they just don't get it, or they just don't perform at that level, or they're not a good fit, and that ultimately hurts. Like, if you genuinely care about people's success, it will hurt you at the end of the day if you're in a leadership role. But what I have found very satisfactory is, again, seeing people, I've seen people really grow into their own potential, and it's so I get so happy when I see that, because people struggle. We all struggle with a variety of things in life, and especially at work. And I've seen people who just didn't know how to use Excel. I saw people who didn't know how to write a professional email. I've seen people not know how to manage projects, right? How to meet a deadline, how to talk to managers, how to build a tribe within the company. So, for me, there was a lot of satisfaction helping people develop their own skill set and their own network, and grow and grow and grow day over day and month over month. So for me, there was a lot of satisfaction there. So again, if you take satisfaction in seeing other people succeed, then leadership is definitely for you, because you can have a direct impact on someone's success and ultimately their life and their quality of life. And so go for it if that's who you are. Um, if you really enjoy having more leverage in an organization, and you enjoy the extra responsibility and the extra weight, then leadership is for you. You will get all of those things, and again, with very little or no thank you. So expect that. But ultimately, if you take satisfaction in delivering good results, then leadership is 100% for you. So Honestly, what it comes down to for me personally is that leadership is serving others. It's that simple. You have to step outside of yourself and your own needs. Doesn't matter what mood you're in. It doesn't matter if you didn't sleep last night. It doesn't matter if you're dead tired and you have two kids with ear infections and a sick dog. And your boiler just broke in the basement and you have to replace it. You have to put that aside to a certain extent and be there for your team. Like you do have to learn how to cut that off and be there for your team. They cannot take on your moods and your problems. You have to put on that poker face and then be there to support them, because the second a team senses failure, or not failure, but weakness rather, in their leadership, then they can get discouraged very easily as well. So I hope this helps. You do have to ask yourself some questions before you just willy nilly run into a leadership role. And it doesn't, I'll close out with this. It doesn't matter the industry. Like, it doesn't matter what type of leadership. I don't care. It doesn't matter if you're selling software or if you're supporting software or if you're in customer service, you're in a call center, or you're out in the field doing some sort of field work, or you're in telecommunications, or you're in tech over in Silicon Valley. It does not matter. At the end of the day, you will be dealing with people in some sort of capacity, and we're all wired pretty much the same way fundamentally, of course with different variables. But you have to understand that you will be dealing with emotions day in and day out when you are in leadership, and you have to be there for it. You have to be prepared for it. And you have to genuinely enjoy it and want to come back the next day. So let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know if you've asked yourselves questions before jumping into a leadership role, or do you regret it? Do you enjoy it? Please comment below. If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing and liking. And I hope you all have a great day.